This podcast is a proud member of the UUOP Network.
Are you ready to go the distance with Tricia's Disney pick? Or will Melinda deliver a Jurassic-sized knockout punch with her universal choice on this episode of Theme Park Throwdown?
Hey everybody, and welcome to episode 20 of Theme Park Throwdown. I am Melinda. You can find me at Melinda's Magical Adventures on Facebook and Instagram. And I'm also here with
Tricia at Tricia Travels on Facebook and Tricia Travels 85 on Instagram.
Go follow us everywhere, guys. How's everybody doing this week? I hope everybody is doing well. We are wrapping up the end of the school year craziness for both of us here. It has just been nonstop all day, every day. And so we are excited to get past that part and into summer officially. Before we dive into our battle for this week, we're going to go over kind of our typical news and announcements section now. Our announcement being our winner announcement for episode 17, which was our roller coasters part 2, which was Epic Universe and Universal Studios Florida versus Epcot, Animal Kingdom, and Hollywood Studios. And our winner from that battle was Disney World. The damn Guardians of the Galaxy got me.
Dang straight. And also, you guys won the first round, though. So,
yes,
it's a pretty even split.
That's okay. I'm okay with that then. Yes, we split the difference. So, congratulations, Disney World. I guess I'll give it to you because Guardians is a fantastic ride. I cannot argue with that for sure. We have some new news this week from both properties. So we'll start with Universal. We have the official announcement that the Universal Park in England, across the pond, is going to be named Universal United Kingdom Resort. There were a lot of different names bouncing back and forth, but that is what we have settled on. So we're super excited to see that park in development and see what they come up with and the different lands and the different rides, new technology coming out. Really excited to see what comes of that. And I might have to take a trip across the pond when that one opens. Maybe we'll take a podcast trip. What's the date? I think 2030? Is it 2030?
I think that's what I heard. And they'll probably stick to it.
Ish. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Barring anything crazy like pandemics or things like that, hopefully that's when they actually open. So we're excited to see some announcements from there. Secondly, silver level annual passes have already sold out for the Universal Kids Resort in Texas. That's
crazy. That's so crazy.
It's been what, like a week and a half, 2 weeks tops since they announced it? I'm not surprised considering how reasonable the prices are. I believe the silver level annual pass was only $130. So if you are a Texan or a somewhat local family, I can totally understand why people jumped on this and why those are sold out. I don't know if they're going to release more in the future, and this was just like the first allotment of passes that were going to be available. But as of right now, you cannot buy them on the website. Additionally, as of yesterday, June 8th in Universal Studios Florida, we have seen an invasion of inflatables, which is promoting the new Minions and Monsters Minions movie, which I'm very excited to go see. I absolutely love everything Minion and Despicable Me. My son has a Minions themed room. His room is like blue and bright yellow with little minions peeking their heads out of all the corners. So we are definitely excited for this one as a family, but they've got these big giant inflatables sitting on top of some of the buildings down Illuminations Avenue in the Minions area in Universal Studios. So that's kind of cool. Last thing I wanted to touch on, which is a little bit disappointing, is that the executive vice president and general manager of Epic Universe was asked about adding Epic to annual passes. And this was his statement. He said, "Everything in its proper time. The best experiences are worth the wait. Our annual pass holders are among our most valued guests, and we're committed to giving them as much access as possible. At the same time, we're focused on protecting the quality of the visit, especially given how many of them we have." I have very mixed feelings about this. Hearing this makes me believe that it's going to be quite a while before we see the addition of Epic to annual passes. It sounds like he's saying they're going to come at some point, but don't hold your breath, in a much nicer and more professional way. So I am not upset about the reasons that he quoted as to why they are waiting. He is right. They do need to wait until they have everything a bit more settled. We are still seeing sky-high wait times, and obviously adding annual pass holders into the park on a more consistent basis is only going to worsen that problem. So they do need to fix some of those things before we have that new influx. But obviously, it's very disappointing to still have to wait and to still have no end date in sight as to when we can stop buying these one-day passes. The good news is they did just pretty severely slash prices on one-day annual pass holder Epic tickets. So now quite a few days are under $100 to get a one-day ticket to Epic.
Yeah.
So it's a lot more reasonable now for most dates. So that's a good thing. I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. I would love to have them added to annual pass or have it added to annual passes now, but good things will come to those who wait.
I had to look up because the last park that Disney had done was Animal Kingdom. Now, granted, Disney has a lot more real estate and more parks. And as far as park size goes, Animal Kingdom is quite a large area, and I don't think it has the same type of draw as Epic Universe, but they did include Animal Kingdom in annual passes the day it opened. So I think that's something interesting.
Yeah, I was wondering that.
The other thing too, like as a Disney annual pass holder, I'm used to having to pick park reservations, which I don't like. At this point, they need to lift that for annual pass holders. But I think maybe a good compromise would be if you were to do like the annual pass holder plus or the one that includes all of the parks, that there's a stipulation that you are limited. You have to like reserve your day, and you're limited to like X number, 5 days a year,
like
6
so
days
many
a year
days
at Epic, and they can track that.
They sent out, they sent out surveys to pass holders, and these are supposed to be confidential. So I'm not going to say much, but they were asking pass holders' opinions on what their preferred type of annual pass with Epic would be. Would you you can pick your, like you said, 5 days a year, 2 days a year? Would you rather have, you can only go on weekends or weekdays, or, they kind of presented several different scenarios like that and asked how we would rate them and how we would rank them. And so that was kind of interesting to see what they were ballparking, what some of the possibilities were. But
yeah.
Still,
I guess we'll have to
waiting.
see.
Yeah. Eventually, we'll get there eventually. One last little bit also. As of today, which is June 9th, 2027 vacation packages are available for Universal Orlando Resort. So we can now book 2027 vacations up until, I believe it's through March or April.
It's like
springtime. So if you are somebody who was looking to book a trip early next year, you can do that now, or your travel agent can. So let us know.
I feel like we got more time this year. Wasn't it just last year when it was like, we're like, come on?
It was November
So,
last year,
oh
but
God,
that was
that
because
was
of the opening
insane.
of Epic. So
Yeah.
everything was like severely delayed because of that. So
Yeah.
at least we have them a little further in advance this year.
Yeah. Those type A planners in us.
Right. Right. What's new with the park down the road?
Well, I mean, I've just got some like light, fluffy stuff. July 1st, they're opening a new kiosk in the near the Canadian Pavilion in Epcot, and it's called the. I'm gonna murder this name. The La Poutineerie.
Poutineery.
There we
Yeah.
go. That's
It sounds delicious.
too many vowels in that. Now I've been
It
to
is.
Canada. I've had like authentic poutine. So this stuff better
Yeah.
measure up. None of this
I
Americanized
agree.
Canadian poutine.
Yeah.
But like the dishes start around $11. So it's gonna be like a quick service kind of thing. I believe it's going in the refreshment port, which actually is a little ways removed from the Canada Pavilion. So it'll be interesting to
Okay.
see how this all goes down. But they also have some really
Yeah.
interesting drinks. Some of them sound like they may have been from previous festivals. But the one I plan to hit up is the spiced apple mule. It's frozen ginger beer blended with
Ooh.
lime and spiced apple flavors and some vodka. So
Oh, that's right up
I
my
will try
alley.
this. I love
That sounds
poutine.
delicious.
They do have a poutine place in Disney Springs, but there's just so much
Yeah.
dining in Disney Springs that I'd rather not like waste my time doing
Yeah.
something like that. But like in a park, I could see splitting this.
I think they have
No,
the
go
same
ahead.
idea though, because they just got rid of all the food trucks in Disney Springs.
Yeah.
Those
Yeah.
are gone now. So I think they agree.
There's a lot of dining.
Too many restaurants.
Uh,
Yeah, we don't need more.
yeah. Speaking of additional things that are coming to Epcot, there is going to be some new festival tables added this year, aka trash cans.
Oh, yeah.
They're
Okay.
they are solar
It took me a
powered, and
second.
they are yeah. That's how you dine at Epcot festivals, a la trash can lid.
Yes.
I kind of feel like a little bit like a raccoon when I eat at festivals, but it's fine.
I think everybody does. It's a rite of passage.
But the thing I like about this, and why am I even talking about this? One, the Imagineers are still going to theme them to the land. I know that's a big deal for people, but these ones are actually solar powered and they have a compactor agent. So it's to compress the garbage so that it takes up less landfill
Oh,
space. So it's Disney's way. They're always looking for ways to try and
interesting.
reduce their footprint, and that's how they're planning on doing that. And it is solar powered, so they're using the power of the sun to compact their trash. So
That makes a lot of sense
I
though,
just thought
because
that.
I saw them and I saw that they were solar powered and I was like, why do they need power? It's a garbage can. What are they doing? So that's that's really interesting.
They're roaming around looking for people who need to throw their garbage. That'd be hilarious.
They used to do that though. They used to have the remote control
Yes.
trash cans. Do you ever remember those? Yeah.
Oh, yes.
So, that's
It's
not far
very
off.
bizarre.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, while we're talking on the subject of like Disney caring and everything, I know that people will see Animal Kingdom as like a half day park or a glorified zoo, but they actually do a lot there. They have a program that has reduced the amount of anesthetics. What is it? The putting the animals
Anesthetic.
under for like, there you go. This is why I don't talk a
Yeah.
lot. Uh, but they've developed like behavioral activities and they've trained animals so that things like having to like trim hooves and stuff that you used to have to put animals under for, they now are awake, and things like that. The biggest thing though is that they've done this really rare and pretty elaborate surgery on one of the rhinos that had cataracts, and it was blind and it can see again. So there's a lot of benefit that happens for
Wow.
animal kind as a whole from what they're doing in Animal Kingdom. And so I just
Yeah.
think that was really, again, these are, like I said, they're fluff stories this week. Sorry, folks. Uh, but
No, but that's
one
nice
thing that
though.
isn't.
It's good to hear stuff like this sometimes.
So, yes, sometimes I rant about chickens singing in Rock and Roller Coaster, and sometimes I share stories about rhinos getting their sight back.
Rhinos with cataracts.
There you go. The final piece, or fluff piece, but not so fluff piece, they released some details about the storyline of the Monsters Inc. land coming to Hollywood Studios. And
I'm so excited.
essentially, the reason humans are allowed to enter Monstropolis is because they're celebrating Human Day, and that stands for Humans Understand Monsters Are Nice. So we no longer scare because we care. We make people laugh because it generates more power for the city. So I thought that was a really cute storyline. I can't wait to ride the coaster. That's the hanging door
I'm
coaster. I
so
really hope
excited.
that one, I hope it works consistently, and two, I really do hope it feels like what we saw in the movie. So
Yeah.
I thought that was some pretty like fun news. And just as a last 2027 tidbit, yes, packages are available, but they also now have the dining plans available for 2027. You have your
Oh,
quick service plan, which is just quick service credits, and then it includes like snacks and a refillable mug. You have your standard table service credit, which is just table service, snacks, and a refillable mug. And then the deluxe table service credit will give you both a quick service and table service credit every day. I'm pretty sure it's fairly similar to ones they've had in the past. I think they just kind of renamed the deluxe
yeah.
version. But those are available now. And if you're interested in adding that to a package, you can. Essentially, it gives you kind of that cruise feel of like all inclusive. You've paid it all up front. So you don't really have to think about, the cost of food because it's already worked into what you spent on your trip.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to deal with the dining plan. I don't want to learn the system and blah, blah, blah. It really does make things so much easier. The trip that
And
I
like,
took in March was the first time I had ever personally used the dining plan. And I wanted
yeah.
to do that so that I could have firsthand experience to educate clients on the best ways to use it and the best places to go and where to get the best bang for your buck and things like that, little
Mhm.
tips and tricks. And it was just so easy. It was just awesome.
Yeah.
I highly
And
recommend it.
I feel like the cast members there are pretty well trained to ask, like, are you on the dining plan? And they can help
Yes, it's
you if
very
you're
easy to
confused.
utilize. Yeah.
Yeah. So just something to think about if you're looking for, a way to enjoy your dining without having to pay a bill.
Yes, good to know. If you pay it up front, it's free, right? Go,
Woohoo,
Matt.
yeah. Just like calories don't count on a vacation.
That's for sure. For sure. Now that we've wrapped up what is new around the parks, let's move on to this week's battle. We want to focus on full service dining on property. So, across the whole Walt Disney World Resort and the whole Universal Orlando Resort, full service dining. When we say full service, we mean you are going into a restaurant, sitting down, being waited on by a waiter or waitress, and they are bringing the food to you and serving you. There are a lot of full service dining locations on both properties. So, because there are way too many to talk about all of them in this episode, we are each going to choose 3 locations, our 3 favorite full service dining locations. Trisha
So
was
hard.
not happy about this.
No. I had about
Very
10.
difficult to narrow down. But we're going to each talk about our 3 favorite table service locations on property, and we'll break them down for you. So, Trisha, tell us about Disney.
Okay. So the first one I'm starting with is technically considered a sit-down service, especially on the dining plan, even though it is a buffet. It's just a very unique experience, and we had some of the best food. So I wanted to discuss Boma, which opened in April of 2001. And it's designed to resemble an African marketplace. The name itself comes from the word meaning enclosure, which is like to keep a community or animals in a place of safety. So I thought that was a really cool name for it.
Yeah.
You can find this at Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge. They serve breakfast from 7:30 to 11:30 and dinner from 5 p.m. to 9:30. And I've had both meals. It's going to run you for both meals between $35 for kids, upwards of $60 for adults. I know that sounds pricey, but it's all you care to enjoy. So make all $60 of your investment worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, it's buffet style dining. So you're seated, they bring drinks to you, and then you can just immediately go up. If you have kids, I think this is a great option because kids don't like to wait for anything. So you can start eating right away. If you are wanting to experience a dining at Animal Kingdom, but you're not staying there, it's a little bit out of the way, you don't have a ton of time, this is a good option because, like I said, you get seated pretty quickly. You can start eating right away. There's food inspired from 50 different areas of the African continent. So you get a wide range. And if you're like, oh, that's like outside of my comfort zone, they do have like the kid-friendly options like chicken tenders, mac and cheese. I think it's worth a shot for everyone. I took my husband. He doesn't get very emotional about anything. Like, I've literally seen this man cry like twice in his life, and we've been married for 17 years.
My husband's the same exact way.
We were at the brunch at Boma, and they have these amazing cinnamon rolls, and you can put like a vanilla sauce on them if you want to add that. And he came and sat down, and he took one bite, and he got really quiet, and he starts tearing up, and I'm like, what is happening? In the middle of a Disney restaurant, right? And I'm like, are you okay? Are you having a reaction? Are you choking? Like, he's like, this tastes just like my grandma's. And I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh.
And I think that was a turning point for him as a Disney fan, because before he's like, fine, I will amuse you by going. And then he had this experience and it was like freaking Ratatouille, like brought him back to his childhood. And like, I was like, I finally win. Like,
yes.
So
awesome.
They're also known for their zebra domes as a dessert. I'd pass and go for like the other options that they have there. Lots of really great things. Nothing is overly spicy, and I like table pepper is like spicy enough for me, and I could do that. You can add, they have seasonings you can add if you are a spice fan. You have to try the pog juice. It's this like guava tropical fruit blend. They have a lot of African alcoholic beverages if you're looking to try things that are more along that line. And I have to say this is kind of like spoiler if you don't want to know this, but we were eating breakfast and all of a sudden we hear this like drum line and we're like, what is happening? And like 5 or 6 cast members come in and they're wearing traditional garb. They have all these different types of African drums, and they're just walking through and they're playing drum circle, but in kind of parade form. And it was just a really neat way to bring some of the culture that they really emphasize through Animal Kingdom and the lodge. So and it wasn't like the whole time. They literally, the time that we ate there, they came through in 15 minutes. So it's not like you're going to have like drums pounding your entire mealtime. It was just like it's kind of like character dining, but without the characters, which my husband appreciated.
Sure.
So I really enjoyed that. The second place that I'm going to mention is Wailulu Bar and Grill. This opened December of 2024. So it's a newer open, but it's already one of my favorite places to dine on property. They had the best service out of any place that I have eaten on property.
Wow.
I went during a marathon weekend. I had run my first half marathon after coming back from a broken foot. Yay me.
You're
And
crazy.
I know. The server was just like, what are you guys like? What are you guys doing? In Disney? Are you celebrating anything? And of course, my husband is very extroverted. He's like, she just ran her first half marathon. He's like, oh, that's so cool. And like asking me questions about it. And at the very end, I got a little bit of pixie dust. He comes out with this dessert platter and it's free. He just brought out like little samples of stuff and we just had a really nice time. The view is spectacular of the Seven Seas Lagoon. You can see the Magic Kingdom fireworks from the restaurant, which is located behind the new Polynesian Tower. It's really easy to get to. If you're on the monorail or in the Magic Kingdom or Epcot area, it's just a short walk from the main building where the monorail drops you off. They serve lunch and dinner. Lunch will run you, both meals will run you between $15 and $35 depending on what you order. The dishes run about that. Lunch starts at 11 a.m. and goes to 4:55. And then dinner starts at 5 p.m. and goes till 10. I really enjoyed this. I didn't think I would. They have a burger called the Wayfinder Burger, which is kind of a play on Moana. And it's probably one of the best burgers on property. So I would say if you enjoy burgers, they have a ton of vegetarian options too. If you're more into that realm, I had this like hummus thing. It was just really good. I can't say enough good things about it. We had the best time. But hands down, and this was a shocker, my favorite all-time place to eat on Disney property is technically not on Disney property. So I'm going to count it anyway. It is Rosa Mexicano. No, you can make a reservation through the app, so I count that. But technically,
that's fair.
It's technically in a Marriott property hotel. The Dolphin.
Swan and Dolphin. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But it is Rosa Mexicano, and it opened in March of 2023. It is
a baby.
It's kind of a chain. You can find locations in New York, Las Vegas, Boston, and DC. But we're talking like pretty substantial like food hubs. So in order for it to sustain, it has to have good food. Based on the name, it is a Mexican restaurant. It's decorated with like wrought iron and very colorful tiling. I
might have been at the one in DC. I'll have to ask my friend. My friend who lives there. But my best friend lives there, and I went and visited her a couple years ago, and we went to this incredible Mexican restaurant, and like the design that you're talking about sounds very familiar. So I'm sure there's a ton of Mexican restaurants in DC, so very well could have been something else, but it's possible.
Well, this was like, I think the reason we liked this so much was that it was a complete surprise. I had heard some people talking about it. Again, it's been open only like 3 years, and it is a bit of off property. The easiest way to get there is if you're taking the Skyliner or you come out the back of Epcot, you take the Friendship boat to the Swan and Dolphin, and then it's just a short walk to get to the restaurant location itself. We actually walked from the backside of Epcot because we went in January, so the temperature was decent, and it was at dinner time, so the sun had started to go down. It was a nice, like, romantic walk if you're going with, your significant other. It also helps you feel better after you've eaten a crap ton of food there. So, they do serve a breakfast from 7 to 11, and then they have lunch and dinner that starts at noon and runs to 2. They take a break, and then from 5 to 11, they serve dinner. So just be aware that if you wanted to try and catch it at an off time, it is closed from 2 to 5 as they switch over service. The one thing I will say about this makes me a little annoyed about Disney, is they're like, lunch, dinner, same menu. Like, don't even. This actually has different menu items at dinner. Yeah. They make you
Oh,
think that
okay.
there's a whole new
Nice.
menu. It's like, no, but this one does.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you the best thing to get on the dinner menu is the macaroni and cheese. I know, at a Mexican restaurant. What?
What?
But
Listen, I'll never say no to macaroni and cheese, but what?
okay. So it comes in a cast iron skillet, like I would a mini. We're not talking like a giant one. And
Dang it.
it's like homemade macaroni and cheese. Okay. They use queso and then they use like all these different, like, the typical cheeses you would see at a Mexican restaurant. They then bake it. There's no like crumbly toppings or anything. It's just straight up like gooey cheese. It is so fantastic. And I don't even really like macaroni and cheese, but I'm like, I will eat this every time I come here. I know.
How do
What's
you
wrong with me? I'm
not
from
like
Wisconsin.
macaroni? What is the matter with? Yeah, what is wrong with you? How do they
I'm gonna
claim
blame
you
my-
in that state?
I'm going to blame my daughter for the years of subjecting me to Kraft because I was like the only
Okay.
macaroni she would eat. And I'm like, I have failed
Yeah.
you as a parent in Wisconsin
Yeah.
if you eat powdered cheese. But,
No, listen, my kid's the same way.
we are branching out. So, but breakfast will run you about $15 to $35. And then lunch and dinner prices will range. Generally at lunch, you'll get slightly smaller portions, not as wide of a variety of options. Again, in that $15 to $35 range. Dinner will get you about $35 to $60. They do have some small plates, though, that run a little bit less. What we ended up doing is kind of sharing a bunch of different things, which I think was the best option. Like I said, the macaroni was great. If you're going, you have to experience the tableside guacamole because they make it like right in front of you. So good. And the one thing that this chain is known for is the agave spirits that it has. There's over 100 different drinks that they make with different agave spirits. Wow. And they're famous for their frozen pomegranate margarita. So,
ooh, that sounds awesome.
Yeah, so good. It is so worth getting over there. It is so worth the price. I would say the only downside is that at dinner, because of the tiling, there's not a lot of sound absorption, so it can get a little bit loud. We were thankfully seated by a window, so we had kind of in a corner, so it was a little bit quieter. But we had a really great server. I will say the service typically at sit-down restaurants in Disney has been pretty phenomenal. My husband speaks French, and so we were at dining. We were dining in France at Epcot Pavilion, not the actual country. And he started talking to the server in French because he was part of the exchange program. And the guy's face just lit up, and he was like, "Oh, you speak French?" And they were like chatting away, and I'm just like, "I'm just gonna eat my food." Like, you go over here. So it's just engage people that work there, engage the cast members. And you can say the same for Universal. These people are so great. I don't think they get enough positive interactions with guests. More often than not, guests only seek people out when they have a complaint, but they are such wonderful people there. Which brings me to my honorary mention, because I have to cheat and throw in a fourth one.
Cheater.
And I know. If you're in Disney Springs, I highly recommend checking out Summer House on the Lake, especially in the summer. The dishes are lighter. Yes, the cookie bar I think is better than Gideon's. I know I'm going to get hate.
Agree. I agree. No, I agree. And you don't have to wait in a 45-minute long line.
More variety. Priced better. You don't have to wait forever. And I'm sorry, but Gideon's cookies are too dense, and I don't think they're baked all the way through. And so you get this like flowery aftertaste that is just super unappealing to me. So I apologize for Gideon's lovers out there, but I will pass and go to Summer House any day of the week. But again, it was just very light, airy. The service was great. I would recommend it as a nice place for a light meal, but then they can offer, heavier dishes as well. So I had to throw it in as an honorable mention.
That's fine. I'll just add one onto mine too.
All right. So what are yours?
Well, what's really interesting though is that all of yours are from resorts. And there are so many restaurants in the parks that I'm really surprised at that.
I've eaten at a fair number in the parks, but for me, being able to like step away from the parks and have a meal just is a lot more pleasant. And it's
That's
not
fair.
hard to get. Like if you're in Epcot, it doesn't take that long to get to Rosa Mexicano. If you're at the Magic
Yeah.
Kingdom, it's really easy to get to Wailulu. And
Yeah.
yes, I've eaten at Crystal Palace and Skipper Canteen and Space 220. And the food is decent, but it's rushed, to be honest. I just feel rushed in a
Yeah.
park restaurant because they're trying to get people in and out. Generally, there's a lot more younger kids. I have a kid. We went through that phase. No shade thrown. But when I'm traveling with my daughter, who's now almost 13, or it's me and my husband, we've gotten accustomed to eating in a more like controlled
Calm and
setting.
quiet environment. Yeah.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
we will take the effort to step out of the park and find that
Yeah.
environment instead of staying in the park. And that's just how we are. We oftentimes will use that. We'll eat like a larger meal kind of like mid late afternoon depending on the hours of the restaurant. And that gives us
Yeah.
that opportunity then to take kind of that midday break and then switch to a different park later in the day. That's just how we like
Yeah.
to travel. So
No, that makes sense for sure. And in full transparency to our audience, one of the reasons why we had to do this format where we each chose our 3 favorites was because I would have liked to say, let's just talk about the full service dining that are in the parks. Universal doesn't have enough. So we couldn't do it that way because Tricia could talk all day about full service
yeah.
dining inside the parks, and I have like 2 restaurants to talk about. Wah, wah, wah. So, so there's that. But I love that, though, that they are putting as much thought and care into their restaurants and their menus at the resorts as they are into the ones in the park. So that's nice to know. All right. So then let's go ahead and talk about Universal and their sit down restaurants and get into my favorites. First of all, this is the Big Kahuna. We've been talking about this a lot lately because of some of the more recent news. My absolute favorite restaurant on Universal property anywhere is Mythos. Hands down, no question. Mythos is in the former Lost Continent. Lost Continent does not exist anymore. I think I saw today a picture that shows that the Sinbad's Theater is officially completely gone. So
Yep.
that is,
I heard that.
it's coming down real fast. But anyways, Mythos is in Lost Continent. It opened on May 28th of 1999, which was the opening day of Islands of Adventure. So it is an OG to the park. It has been famously voted #1 theme park restaurant in the world by Theme Park Insider, yearly from 2003 until 2008, and then recently again in 2018. I don't know why there was such a big gap there, but there's that. They had a banner out in front of the restaurant for years and years and years and years announcing this feat that they accomplished. It's not really that big of a deal, but, I'm not going to knock it because I tend to agree. So it is built to resemble a mythic temple or cave-ish, complete with a big waterfall on the interior and exterior, godly statues. Statues?
Shaped like tacos.
I don't know what that was.
I don't know.
I'm hungry. Godly statues, just really beautiful architecture. They put a lot of thought into the interior and exterior of this restaurant, and it really does just fit in that land, or did fit in that land. There are huge windows across the entire rear of the dining room that overlook the lagoon in the center of the park. You can sit out on the back patio. My favorite area of all Universal Orlando Resort is right there sitting on that back patio. Even if you're not eating out there, just going out there and sitting for a few minutes, it's just really beautiful. It's quiet, it's beautiful at sunset. It can get hot because you're sitting out there, but it's fully covered, so you're not going to be exposed to sun or
Oh, that's
rain
nice.
or anything like that. It was intended to be the flagship restaurant of Islands of Adventure, and it absolutely accomplished that. So it is sad to see it go. They serve food from a lot of different regions, which is one of, I think, the coolest parts about this restaurant.
Mhm.
You can get anything from souvlaki couscous bowls. They're famous for their pad thai. They have American classics like their fork, knife, and spoon grilled cheese. That is one of the absolute favorite dishes, especially among like annual pass holders in the entire park. So you really have a very diverse menu that is going to make pretty much everybody happy. Everything is really good quality as well and very fresh. I usually go for, they always have a seasonal risotto. I've had
Uh-huh.
combinations anywhere from, I love a risotto, but
Yeah.
I've had they had a beet risotto with beef medallions. That was amazing. I've had a butternut squash risotto with scallops. So it really does change with the seasons and is
Mhm.
completely different from season to season. But that's always one of my go-tos there. I also really love the lamb hummus appetizer, and I'm not a lamb fan typically either, but it's spiced ground lamb on top of hummus with a bunch of different vegetables. You've got pita to dip it in or to dip in it, and it is absolutely delicious. They also have a full bar with a ton of specialty cocktails. They've got a pretty extensive beer and wine list. They have a lot of mocktails as well. That's kind of nice that a lot of the different restaurants on property are adding a lot of mocktail
Mhm.
options because I don't know about you guys. I like to enjoy a drink every once in a while, but usually if I am in the park, I'm spending the day in the park, I don't
Yeah.
want to drink because I'm not drinking and then going on Velocicoaster. I'm sorry. As much as that might sound like a fun idea in my head, I'm not taking that risk.
Yeah.
So it's nice to have those mocktail options. And they also have really good desserts. They have a chocolate banana gooey cake, which is
Oh.
to die for. So good. Prices are surprisingly reasonable considering the quality, the quantity, the type of foods that
Yeah.
you are offered here. You're not going to spend more here than you would on in a lot of the places in City Walk. It's pretty standard upscale theme park food prices. So you're going to spend $20 to $30 on an entree ish.
Okay, but those entrees are huge. Like, I got the
Yes.
risotto, and I was like, "This could feed 3
Oh,
people."
massive. I've never finished it ever. Like I've never
No.
come close. So you are absolutely getting what you're paying for and
Yeah.
more at this restaurant. Reservations are not required, but they are recommended. It really honestly depends on how busy the park is. If you are going on a day where the park is pretty low crowd levels, you can get in with a 10-15 minute wait. But if you're going on a day that the park is slammed, it's absolutely a good idea to make reservations. For this restaurant and all the restaurants I'm going to talk about, and many of the restaurants on property, reservations can be made through the Universal Destinations and Experiences app. You could also, if you're staying at an on site hotel, ask your concierge at the hotel. They will make reservations for you. They can call the restaurant and do that for you. Or you can make a reservation by just walking in. This restaurant is open from 11 a.m. until park close, and it will be closing sometime in 2027 permanently and being demolished. So if you want to go now. We will be going
Dumb.
in September. For
That
sure.
that is
For sure.
the dumbest decision they've made. They should have saved this restaurant, like, somehow.
I know. And we've beat this to death, so I didn't want to focus on it anymore. But you're right. It's
I can't
devastating to
help
see it
it.
go.
This is
No, I know.
As
I could talk about
I'm
it forever,
a
how much I
Disney
love it and how
girl.
sad I am.
Not okay. I'm not okay.
I know. I know. I'm so disappointed. But let's move on because I could talk about that all day. So we're going to move out into City Walk and go to Cowfish Sushi and Burger Bar. This restaurant is a bit polarizing for people. I think I've had, and even me myself, I've had mostly great experiences. I've had a couple like experiences where it could have been better, but it's really great overall. And
Uh-huh.
I feel like my negative experiences always have to do with the service and the crowds and things like that, things that are a bit out of anybody's control. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So it gets a pass there. The food is always fantastic. I've never had a bad meal here. I've always loved everything I've ever gotten from this restaurant. It opened in January of 2015. It is massive.
Oh my
It
gosh.
doesn't really look as large from the outside as it is, but it's because it's built up and not so much out. So it is 3 stories and you can sit on all 3 stories, and you can sit on 2 of the 3 stories, but it seats 500 people, both indoors and outdoors. There is an outdoor patio area that's really nice to sit in as well. Again, completely covered. You're not going to be subjected to the elements, but it's nice on a day where it's not sweltering to sit outside on the patio. And you're on an elevated level, so it's kind of fun to like see the people walk by on City Walk. It's one of those places that like doesn't take itself too seriously. It likes to have this kind of playful conversation with its customers. It's a really light and fun atmosphere. There's very quirky and unique decor. They have like virtual aquariums on the walls and things like that. So it's a fun experience for kids. My kids love this place, not only for the decor and stuff, but also for some of the food options that they have. It mixes Pan-Asian cuisine with classic American food like burgers. And you can get things like their famous burgushi, which is a sushi roll made out of burger ingredients. Or you could get sushi, or you can get burgers. They also have, like I said, their kids' meals are these adorable little bento boxes. They're just so cute, and they put so much thought into their menus.
Yeah.
They have a Cowfish has officially left the building, which is a burger with peanut butter and fried bananas on it in tribute to Elvis Presley. I can't see myself ever trying this. Yeah, I can't see myself ever trying this, but I have heard from quite a few people that have gotten it that it's actually decent. So,
okay.
Do with that what you will. My favorite used to be, and I loved this burger so much. They had a truffle cheeseburger that was so good. And then they took it off the menu a couple years ago, and my friend and I were not happy about it. I'm still not happy about it. But I love any burger at this restaurant pretty much. They are just delicious. They're super, super, I was going to say well done, but I don't eat my burgers well done. So they're cooked well.
Yes.
I also really love their sweet potato fries. I'm a sucker for a sweet potato fry, and they're delicious. They also have a full bar, lots of specialty cocktails, beer, and mocktails. They also have a big selection of sake, since they do serve some Asian dishes. So that's kind of interesting if you're looking for a place on property for something a little different like that. There you go. There's a really big selection. They also have a pretty large milkshake menu, and you can also get alcoholic milkshakes. Oh, have you tried? Have you tried one, or are you just wanting to?
No, they make a good milkshake. And that's saying something from someone's from Wisconsin.
Okay, it is. It is. And it is kind of
it's
interesting, especially considering you have Toothsome Chocolate Emporium across the lagoon right there in City Walk because obviously they're famous for their milkshakes as well. So it's kind of a battle between the
I'm
two,
not gonna lie.
I guess.
I actually like these milkshakes better because like the other ones, it's almost you could have too much in a
It's
milkshake.
so
And I feel
much.
like,
Yes.
yeah, and I sometimes you just want a really good milk, like a really good chocolate milkshake, and they
Mm.
they know how to make them. I was looking for
Okay.
they had this chicken, I can't remember what it was, but I don't see it on their menu anymore. And I'm like, no.
Oh, no.
They had we would get the chicken, it was like a orange chicken or something with like sesame seed. It was an appetizer.
Okay.
So we'd get that and share it,
Oh,
and then we'd get one of the burgushi. I I have a hard time with sushi because my career by trade, I work as a dietitian and I've been trained on food service safety, and like eating raw fish is
yeah.
just something that I struggle to get over with. And also like if I'm on vacation, I don't want to eat something that might not agree with my stomach. So I tend
That's
to
fair.
avoid their sushi. I'm not saying anything bad about their sushi. Like my husband has, or he loves sushi and he's never had an issue. He loves their sushi. It's just me. It's a me
Mhm.
thing. It's not you, it's me.
You know what?
So,
I agree. It's not for like dietary reasons like that. I just don't like sushi. I never have, whether it has fish in it or not. I'm just not a fan, but my husband likes it a lot. So every time we go here, I get a burger and he gets sushi. Or actually, he
yeah.
usually gets both, honestly. But
Yeah.
he has always said that it's really great too. So prices are pretty decent as far as theme park restaurants go. A burger is going to run you $22, $25. A sushi roll is going to run you about $20. Reservations are highly recommended here. I would almost say they're absolutely needed. Since this is smack dab on City Walk, there are a ton of people always around this restaurant. And so they
Mhm.
get a lot of reservations. So absolutely place reservations in advance if you think this is someplace where you're like, okay, I really need to try that restaurant, make a reservation. They are open from 11 until 10 Sunday through Thursday and 11 to 11 on Friday and Saturday. Lastly, I'm going to move right next door to Vivo Italian Kitchen. This is City Walk's Italian fare restaurant, aptly named. It opened in 2014. You can sit indoors or out on the patio. One thing I will say about sitting indoors in this restaurant, the restaurant's very narrow, and so it can get very loud because they also have one of those kitchens that's kind of like open and observable. So you
Mhm.
can see what they're doing. You can see the fresh pasta hanging. And so you are exposed to all of the noise of the kitchen as well as the noise of the restaurant. And so it can get very loud. So just be mindful of that. The food is worth it, 100%. I've been to this restaurant probably 10 times ish. And each time has been with a pretty large group of people. And I don't think I've ever been there with anyone who wasn't absolutely thrilled with their food. That's saying a lot.
Yeah.
It's very fresh. The pasta is perfectly cooked. The meats are really tender and well seasoned. Everything I've tried has been phenomenal. One of my favorites is the eggplant parmesan. They have great pizza and steaks as well. They've got a really good dessert menu. They have this like massive cannoli that's shareable.
Oh,
They have a huge wine menu that pairs really well with their pasta dishes and their other entrees. Most pasta dishes are priced around $30 ish. Their top strip steak is going to run you $56. So the prices are a little bit higher than the other restaurants that I have talked about, but it is a bit more of an upscale restaurant compared to the others that I've talked about, and you are absolutely getting what you pay for here. I have also always had fantastic service at this restaurant. I I don't think I've ever had like a really bad service experience on Universal property, like you said, I've never had an experience where I felt like I needed to make a complaint or write a negative review or anything like that. Like, could there have been some improvements here and there? Sure. But for the most part, like you said about Disney, service is pretty top notch anywhere you go on Universal property. Reservations for this restaurant, again, definitely are a must. There can be some really lengthy waits unless it is like a completely off meal time. If you're going to go at like 3 o'clock in the middle of the day, maybe you can get away with a walk in. But for the most part, you need to make a reservation. They are open from 3 until 11 days. So you're not going to be able to get like a lunch here really unless you go for that late lunch, like I said. Since you had an honorable mention thrown in there, I'm going to throw one in as well. My honorable mention is going to be the Islands Dining Room, which is in the Royal Pacific Resort. Not for lunch or dinner, specifically for breakfast. I'm actually not a big fan of lunch or dinner at this restaurant. I was there a couple months ago and it was fine, but I wasn't thrilled by any means with it, the menu or the food, to be honest. But the breakfast, you can either get their breakfast buffet, which is substantial. There are so many options. There's a make your own omelet station. They have a make your own pancake like bar. There's all the different pastries and things like that. You've got waffles, you've got biscuits and gravy, you've got a ton of fresh fruit, you've got oatmeal, and it is absolutely delicious. But you can also order menu items for breakfast, and they have some really different options that are tropical Polynesian inspired, just like the resort. And their macadamia nut pancakes are amazing. Amazing. I don't like breakfast food. I don't know if I've said that before on the podcast or not. I hate breakfast food, like with a passion. I will go out of my way not to eat breakfast food for breakfast because I just, like I'll eat eggs every once in a while and that's okay. Other than that, I will eat like leftovers from dinner for breakfast most of the time, or I just won't eat breakfast because I just don't like it. So for me to put something on my favorites list because of breakfast is a big deal.
Oh, wow.
So, but I had to throw that one on there.
That breakfast reminds me a little bit of the offerings that they have at the Polynesian restaurants. And it'd be
I can
interesting
imagine
because
they're pretty similar.
They have a macadamia pancake, I think, as well. And I'd be like, now I want to go and compare and see which one
good
has
to me.
a better pancake. So, how can I make this
good.
happen?
We'll figure it out.
I have to say though, I agree with you. I don't particularly like starting my day off with sugary stuff. I'll try things like the pancake rubber, but my favorite breakfast stuff is when we were in the South, they have savory grits that they serve a lot of the time, but they serve it with breakfast. I love avocado toast, which call me whatever you want, but I just
I agree.
If you're gonna eat something in the morning, I work out in the morning and I can't work out after I eat. I have to I run. I'm not running on a full stomach. I just cannot do that.
Yeah.
So I need something that is more substantial and will sustain blood sugar versus so I get that.
I don't know. I've just never liked it. The only time I ever forced myself to eat okay. I was going to say force myself to eat a decent breakfast, but this is not decent. The only time I've ever really forced myself to eat a lot for breakfast was when I was pregnant. And my breakfast craving when I was pregnant, pretty much every day with my older son, was SpaghettiOs. I had a can of SpaghettiOs almost every day of my pregnancy with my 7-year-old.
Wow.
And it's really funny because my mom says the same thing about when she was pregnant with me. So that might be a thing.
Weird.
She said she used to eat SpaghettiOs all the time when she was pregnant with me. But that's literally what I ate for breakfast every morning because as much as I didn't want to eat, I knew that I had to. And so I went with something super quick and easy. And
that is so funny. Oh
there
my
you go.
gosh. Mine was the Jimmy John's veggie sandwich on the thick wheat bread. I'm pretty sure I ate that
love their thick wheat bread.
Yeah, I think I ate that like 3 to 4 times a week. It's like,
okay.
You know, and you're not supposed to eat
no
deli
shame
meat.
there. You're getting your veggies, right?
Yeah,
right.
You're not supposed to eat deli meat when you're pregnant, and so. But I like, honestly, when you get into like the last trimester, I didn't want to eat anything hot. It's like just give me cold things. Like I'm like sweating all the time. I can't breathe. I don't want to eat something hot. Like
yeah.
Oh my God, I ate so many of those sandwiches.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Understandable. You gotta do what you gotta do to get those calories in when you just don't want to eat. So I think that about does it for this battle and this episode. Let us know what you guys think, what some of your favorites are, what are some that we should have talked about. And please like and subscribe if you haven't already. And remember to vote for our weekly battles on Facebook and Instagram. And we'll see you for next week's battle.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to this week's battle. Now it's time to let us know what you think. Vote in our Who Won weekly poll on Instagram and Facebook. You can find us at Theme Park Throwdown everywhere. You can also watch video recordings of all of our episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search Theme Park Throwdown. If you're planning your next vacation, we're here to help. Go to portkeyvacations.com and fill out a quote request form, and be sure to request either Melinda or Tricia to be your advisor. Finally, make sure you check out our family of podcasts on the UUOP network. The Unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, the Taste of Universal podcast, the Unofficial Universal Great Britain podcast, the Portkey Passport, a Disney podcast for adults, the Theme Park Duo for your West Coast parks, Rush of Fear, a Halloween Horror Nights podcast, and Big Dumb Stuff for all your pop culture comedy. You can also check out our network partner, The Fudge Factor, on YouTube for all their park vlogs. That's it for this throwdown, guys. We'll see you next week in the ring.